Welcome to the CEC Report. It's the 17th of April. I'm Robert Barwick and I'm joined again today by CEC leader Craig Isherwood. Welcome, Craig.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie.
In this week's CEC Report, Assange is despised for proving the evil of regime change, and why Standard & Poor's is covering up Australia's bail-in law. Before we begin, Craig, though, just a quick update on the Senate inquiry into the Separation of Banks Bill that we've been briefing people on and getting people involved in. So that's now formally closed. There was over, the inquiry is admitting they've got over 900 submissions, but that could mean anything because last time they said they had over 1,000 and they admitted privately it was over 2,000. Yep. So the people who made the submissions, thank you very much. However, we have confirmed that the people running this inquiry, namely Senator Jane Hume, the ex-banker, is just determined to use her power to rig it to protect the banks. She's made the inquiry a joke because what they've done is, despite the election being called, they have refused to extend the reporting date. So in the middle of an election, they're supposed to take our submissions, go through them carefully and come up with a considered report while an election's on, right, by the 13th of May. This is a joke. Have a look at Jane Hume in action, chairing this very committee in this footage that was from Parliament a week or so ago.
What more can I give you, Senator McAllister?
Oh, you have now said
Do you want
that.
me
Is
to
that
put
your
Miss
ruling?
Marakovich in the stocks and we can throw some dead fruit at her and see what happens then? The question has been taken on notice.
Wow.
I don't know why you cross at me.
I'm not. I'm actually just asking for you to make the ruling, which
I
I
have,
think you maybe
and
now
it's been
have.
done. It's been done and the question's been taken on notice.
Yeah, it's just a little unorthodox. The reason I
Would
asked,
you like to ask some
have
more
a-
questions of the department? Would you like to ask some more
Actually,
questions of me,
I'd like to have a
Senator
private. I'd like to have a
McAllister?
private meeting to discuss this. Actually,
You can't be serious.
I am serious.
Would you like to ask some more questions?
No,
of the
I'd like a
department?
private meeting to discuss it.
Fine. Happy to call a private meeting. The committee will suspend for 10 minutes while we have a private meeting.
So that's the piece of work that we're dealing with, Craig. Be outraged, right? And continue to fight with us. And as we said last week, start confronting all candidates in the election about this bill and the separation of banks and the fact Parliament's continuing to rig the inquiry. And just get involved in any other way that comes up.
Well, there's a couple of things, Robbie. First of all, this is not going to stop. No matter what they try and do, it's not going to stop. People can get copies of call in for a copy of our Australian Alert Service. In there is a detailed explanation of everything we've been talking about. But also, Robbie, we've just launched a new website this week. People can follow us very clearly on that as well, in this campaign.
Yeah, because of the election campaign. Okay, thanks for that, Craig. All right, let's get started because we actually have a very big show today. For once, we're not leading with financial and banking matters. We're leading with Julian Assange. Assange is despised for proving the evil of regime change. So last week, Julian Assange was arrested, Craig. In fact, very publicly in breach of his asylum. The Ecuadorian government, which is basically a puppet government of the United States now, allowed the British police in there to drag him out. He's now being held in the British equivalent of Guantanamo Bay, right? And as he claimed from the beginning, it is the bail charge in Britain is the minor one. Even in the court case, the little hearing they held last week, they admitted straight away it's about these extradition charges he's facing to go to the United States. Extradition for charges he's facing in the United States. The crimes he's indicted for in the United States, Craig. The indictment wasn't from 2010; it was from 2018, March 2018. Yeah. They indicted him for something he supposedly did in 2010. They're trying to get him on a minor charge of hacking, right? So that when he gets to the United States, the danger is they'll load up all these other charges that can include, treason, etc., and potentially face the death penalty. Julian Assange is despised by the governments, by the media, right? And I'm really disgusted with that one because he shows them up. He doesn't show them up because he scoops them on what they haven't found. They don't even look at the things he finds because they never question the establishment, right?
That's right.
He's exposed a whole lot with his WikiLeaks operation. But he's also despised by Hillary Clinton fans, because he exposed her well and truly, and that contributed to her losing the 2016 election. But that's not what he's been charged for. He's been charged for the much more fundamental exposing he did of US war crimes in the Iraq war, right? With the leak, the big leak that he was involved in 2010. So now the arrest has been happening, what's the news? On cue, you're seeing all these stories wheeled out, and it's it's someone pushes a button in an intelligence agency, and all the media jump straight away, and all these stories about what a disgusting person he is, terrible hygiene. It's designed to character assassinate the guy so that there's no public sympathy, and then people will happily just ignore what's going to be done to the whistleblower of our day, of our age. I want to show you these clips though from Four Corners from the 23rd of July 2012, from a thing called, the show was called Sex, Lies and Julian Assange, which show that Assange's claim at the time has now been proven right. So just have a quick look at the clip. It shows you that and how much he was hated by the US and Australian governments.
Julian Assange may have suspended his fate at the hands of a Swedish court by claiming political asylum in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, but the Swedes are not going away anytime soon, nor are the British police, who are waiting to arrest him and extradite him to Stockholm the minute he attempts to leave his temporary sanctuary. Assange's troubles in Sweden go back almost exactly 2 years. The first sensational intelligence and diplomatic leaks had already hit the public domain. In the American government's eyes, Assange had become public enemy number one. But for many others around the world, he was a cause célèbre. But for all their power and influence in the world, they had seemed impotent to stop the leaks, or somehow make Assange pay for what they saw as espionage. When it emerged that 2 young Swedish women were pressing charges against him, alleging rape and molestation in somewhat curious circumstances, and extradition proceedings began in the British courts, Assange alleged that America was somehow manipulating the whole process behind the scenes in order to in turn extradite him back to the US and face the judicial music there. On the assumption that Assange can't stay in his Ecuadorian diplomatic sanctuary forever, and while we await the outcome of that standoff, Four Corners has gone back to Sweden, where the drama began, to pin down what actually happened there and take a closer look at the inconsistencies in the various versions of events.
US Army soldier Bradley Manning had allegedly leaked more than 250,000 classified documents, and Julian Assange was anxious to get them out. They became known as Cablegate.
There are so many thousands of stories that have come from that and have influenced elections and have been involved in the course of revolutions.
The United States strongly condemns the illegal disclosure of classified information. It puts people's lives in danger, threatens our national security, and undermines our efforts to work with other countries to solve shared problems.
An outraged Washington set up a crack team of Pentagon investigators to take on WikiLeaks. It even launched a legally questionable financial blockade to starve WikiLeaks of funds. For America, Cablegate was the final straw. Some even wanted Assange dead.
This guy's a traitor, a treasonist, and he has broken every law of the United States. The guy ought to be, and I'm not for the death penalty, so if I'm not for the death penalty, the only one to do it, illegally shoot the son of a.
Well, what about it? This little punk, now I stand up for Obama. Obama, if you're listening tonight, you should take this guy out, have the CIA take him out.
If Assange was looking for support from home, he didn't get it.
I absolutely condemn the placement of this information on the WikiLeaks website. It's a grossly irresponsible thing to do and an illegal thing to do.
The then Attorney General threatened to revoke his Australian passport. It was only because the federal police believed that Assange's passport was the best way to track him that he kept it.
Now, so that's clear. Julia Gillard said, this guy's a criminal. Here's the point. This is not a story about an eccentric Australian hacker. This is a story about war crimes, and they're our war crimes, our side, right? That's the issue here. The biggest war crime of all, Craig, was invading Iraq on a lie, obviously, but then there was lots of other war crimes. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to use the next segment to show the video in great detail that Assange exposed these war crimes, leaked to show the world the war crimes going on in Iraq. Welcome back to the CEC Report, where we're talking about Julian Assange exposing the evil of regime change. So Craig, this is the clip that Julian Assange exposed to the world. What happened was in 2007, 2 Reuters journalists, Reuters employees in Iraq were killed, and the American authorities says they were killed in the normal course of combat according to the rules of engagement, etc. Reuters demanded footage of it because they knew that was done by helicopters and it wasn't forthcoming. WikiLeaks revealed it, and this is the clip. What's this first bit?
And there's more that keep walking by, and one of them has a weapon.
Roger, received, target.
Okay.
208.
See all those people standing down there?
Stand by. Roger. Stay firm. And open your courtyard.
Yeah, Roger. I just estimated there's about 20 of them. There's one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's...
Bushman, relevant. Copy at White 6. That's a weapon.
Yeah. Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18.
We'll call for exchange by Charlie Mike Bravo.
Spirit 37. I'm Red White 6, Bushman 6, Romeo. Roger. Fucking break.
Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18. Have individuals with weapons.
4 radio. Rio Banners 1-4.
Yep, he's got a weapon too. Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18. Have 5 to 6 individuals with AK-47s. Request permission to engage.
Roger that. We have no personnel east of our position, so you are free to engage over.
All right, we'll be engaging.
Roger, go ahead. I can't get them now because they're behind that building.
Any Bushman, relevant. Copy
He's got an RPG.
All right, we got a guy with an RPG.
I'm going to fire. Okay.
No, hold on. Let's come around.
Behind buildings right now from our point of view.
Yeah, we're going to come around and get him from
I saw an individual with an RPG getting ready to fire. We won't get...
Yeah, we got a guy shooting. Now he's behind the building.
God damn it.
Speed coming around.
Negative. He was right in front of the Brad, about there 1 o'clock. Haven't seen anything since then.
Just fucking, once you get on, just open up. Yeah, Roger. I see your element. You got about 4 Humvees out along this. You're clear.
All right, firing.
Line here. When the space line, let me know when you get it. We'll shoot. Light them all up.
002 traffic, 260.
Come on, fire.
Hey, Roger. Keep shoot. Keep shoot.
Bushmaster 2-6. We need to move time now.
All right, we just engaged all 8 individuals.
Yeah, we got 2 birds. We're still firing.
Roger.
Got him.
6 is a 2-6. We'll move, but we got 13.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Well,
bypass.
God damn it, Kyle.
all right. I hit him by head. All right, you're clear.
All right, I'm just trying to find targets again.
Bushmaster 6, this is Bushmaster 2-6.
Got a bunch of bodies laying there.
All right, we got about 8 individuals.
Yeah, we got one guy crawling around down there, but yeah, we definitely got some. We're shooting some more.
Roger. Hey, you shoot, I'll talk. Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18.
Crazy Horse 18, this is Hotel 26, over.
Roger, currently engaging approximately 8 individuals, KIA, RPGs, and AK-47s.
Hotel 26, you need to move to that location once Crazy Horse is done and get pictures, over. China.
Target 20 is the location.
The Hotel 26, Crazy Horse 18.
Oh yeah, look at those dead bastards.
Nice. 26, Crazy Horse 18.
Thank you, Spears 02 in flight. Free change, zone 4 this time.
Spears 02, free change.
Nice. Good shoot.
Thank you.
Now, to make the point, yes, while some of them were carrying guns, they're seeing these gunship helicopters there. They're totally relaxed. They're not a threat to anybody, right? Then one man survived and help arrived with a van. And in the van, you'll see the front of the seat of the van, there were 2 children clearly visible.
It's 18. We also have one individual appears to be wounded, trying to crawl away.
Roger, we're going to move down there.
Roger, we'll cease fire.
Yeah, we won't shoot anymore. He's getting up.
If he has a weapon though in his hand?
No, I haven't seen one yet. We'll see. You guys got that guy crawling right now on the curb? Yeah, I got him. I put 2 rounds near him, and you guys are shooting over there too, so we'll see. Yeah, roger that.
Bushmaster 36 Element, this is Hotel 27, over. Hotel 27, Bushmaster 7, go ahead. Roger, I'm just trying to make sure that you guys have my turb, over.
Roger, we got the turb.
Come on, buddy.
All I gotta do is pick up a weapon.
Crazy Horse, this is Bushmaster 5, or Bushmaster 4, break. Here, right below you, right time now. Can you walk us onto that location, over?
This is 2-6, Roger. I'll pop flares. We also have one individual moving. We're looking for weapons. If we see a weapon, we're going to engage. Now, Bushmaster, we have a van that's approaching and picking up the bodies.
Where's that van at?
Right down there by the body.
Okay, yeah.
Bushmaster, Crazy Horse, we have individuals going to the scene. Looks like possibly picking up bodies and weapons.
Let me engage.
Hey, we need to stop that so we can get down there. We need to stop that. You see my location?
Roger. Break. Crazy Horse 1-8. Request permission to engage individual.
Picking up the wounded. Yeah, we're trying to get permission to engage. Come on, let us shoot.
Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1-8.
We're taking him.
Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1-8.
This is Bushmaster 7, go ahead.
Roger, we have a black SUV or bongo truck picking up the bodies. Request permission to engage.
Bushmaster 7, Roger. This is Bushmaster 7, Roger, engage.
1-8, engage. Clear.
Come on.
Clear. Clear.
We're engaged as well.
Coming around, clear.
Roger. Trying to,
Clear.
Roger, I lost him in the dust.
I got him.
I'm firing.
George, this is Bushmaster 4. You got any BDA on that truck, over?
You're clear. This is Crazy Horse, stand by.
Not shooting for some reason.
Go ahead.
I think the van's disabled.
Go ahead and shoot it.
I got an azimuth limit for some reason.
Low left. Clear left. Alright, Bushmaster, Crazy Horse 1-8. A vehicle appears to be disabled. There was approximately 4 to 5 individuals in vehicle moving bodies. Your lead, Bradley, should take the next right. That's cruising east down the road. No more shooting.
Crazy Horse, this is Bushmaster 4. We're moving a dismount element straight south from the Bradley.
I have your Bradley element turning south down the road where the engagements were.
Last call on stations at Bradley element. Say again.
Rogers, Crazy Horse, your lead Bradley just turned south down the road where all the engagements happen. Should have a van in the middle of the road with about 12 to 15 bodies.
Oh yeah, look at that, right through the windshield.
Alright, there was approximately 4 to 5 individuals in that truck, so I'm counting about 12 to 15.
I'd say that's a fairly accurate assessment so far.
Those children, Craig, were wounded. This is the response of the shooters in the helicopter when they found that out.
Oh, it's their fault for bringing their kids to a battle.
That's right.
We'll take a break now. Welcome back to the CEC Report. So before the break, Craig, we showed the video, right? It's called Collateral Murder. You can look at the whole thing on YouTube. We've shown you the main clips. Just before we go into the last thing we wanted to say about bail-in, I just want to make the point. In the earlier clip we used where Julia Gillard said Assange broke a law, in 2011, Malcolm Turnbull gave a speech at Sydney University Law School. Now, he was a government an opposition front bencher then, been a minister in the Howard government, and he was going to be the future Prime Minister. And he made this point: Assange did not break any Australian law. And the High Court upheld in a court case that Malcolm Turnbull had been involved in years earlier called the Spycatcher trial, that if the person has not breached the Australian law, it's the Australian government's responsibility to look after him, right? And in other words, Julia Gillard is totally lied. Now, Malcolm Turnbull, when he was Prime Minister, did he carry on with what he said? No, because this is what their actions prove, Australia's governments prove, which includes Malcolm Turnbull's, is what Malcolm Fraser wrote, a former Prime Minister also in this book, Dangerous Allies, that we do not have an independent foreign policy. We are subservient to the Anglo-American powers, right? And while that's the case, we're letting, what we're letting happen to Julian Assange is an example of it, right? And this is an outrage. Australia should be outraged at this and demand our government bring him back to Australia. So it's because of the service he's actually provided to the world.
Definitely.
All right, just quickly, let's talk about bail-in in a little bit of time we've got. The other reason we want to raise this, because it is a brief issue, we've been exposing bail-in for a long time, Craig wrote, and we know there was a law passed a year ago that we said can allow the government by a backdoor to grab deposits. Well, the ratings agency Standard & Poor's has come out and said, no, the Australian government, they don't have any intention to bail in banks. They will bail, they're committed to bailing out the banks. Right? And a publication called Business Day, run by a former Financial Review columnist named Ian Rogers, attacked us. Called us the eccentric CEC, and he also attacked Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics for spreading claptrap. See, you guys have been spreading claptrap about this. However, we don't have time to go through all the details, but if S&P, Craig, had found otherwise, if they had said, oh no, there is bail-in, that would have had consequences. The main consequence would have been S&P would have been forced to downgrade the ratings of Australia's banks. And by downgrading those ratings, the banks would have had to pay higher interest rates on their borrowings, and they rely on borrowings for 50% of their funding from overseas, and pass those interest rates on to current borrowers in the Australian market. Would the Australian market be able to handle, at the moment, a rise in interest rates?
No, Robbie, we've already got a housing crash, right? Because the interest rates, even though they're record lows, the criminality of the entire system, the banks and so forth, have put people into houses they can't afford, actually. And look at the Standard & Poor's. The people should not have any illusion about what this group is. Go back and have a look at The Big Short. And, you know,
well, because that was going to be my question. Would Standard & Poor's ever give a fake rating, Craig?
Oh, as they say in The Big Short, and which is an accurate rendition of this process, of course they would, because they're a private company. They're looking for profits, and they're not going to be outdone by other ratings agencies.
And their fake ratings back in 2008 underpinned a property bubble then, and it's underpinning a property bubble now.
Why would you think that they'd be any different now? Of course not, Robbie. They're part of the system.
So they put up a tweet on this. Banking Day put up a tweet, and I replied to it. We can show a bit of that on the website on the screen. But so we can prove them wrong. But I just wanted to expose their motive here, right? If they tell the truth about bail-in, that itself might bring down the whole system.
That's right, because people's savings aren't considered safe, and people will pull out their money out of the banks, and you'll have a mess.
All right. Well, look. Thanks again, Craig. We've run out of time. This was a serious show, though, for good reason. So tune in next week for more of the CEC Report.